is going on, members of the barrio? It's John coming to you from Guadalajara, where Adriana and I are going to be living for the next month. And what I normally like to do when I move to a new city is show you guys around the apartment that we rent and talk about how we found it, how much it costs, and I'm going to get to all of that, the pricing, at the end of the video, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But why don't we start this little tour? We are in Colonia Americana, and this is the outdoor patio of the building that we're renting from. There's multiple apartments here, and we are up the stairs, so let's go in. And we have to walk up this winding staircase to get to our apartment. This is nowhere near as bad, of course, as living on the 4th floor of a walk-up in New York City. 2nd floor, piece of cake. We are going to begin in the kitchen. I like some of the artwork here. And here's Adriana, hard at work. How are you, and what do you think of this apartment so far?
It's a small, but it has perfect light, so I like it.
Yeah, for someone like you who's doing artwork,
yeah,
lighting is very important.
Yeah, it's true.
I'll leave you alone now. I know I'm annoying you too much. Interesting paintings everywhere here. Little red couch. And this is one of 2 balconies that we have in this apartment looking out onto a garden. And that's our other balcony right there. As Adriana alluded to, this is not a very large apartment, but it does serve all of our purposes. So now we are going to move on to the other half of the place. Quick stop in El Baño. And this bathroom is actually bigger than the one we had in Merida. I like the bathroom a lot. Nice shower, and yes, you can close this curtain so your neighbors do not see you naked. We don't want to get into that kind of trouble. All right, the bedroom. Full-size bed. Wish it was a little bit bigger, not gonna lie, but it's acceptable. Got a good spot for the television right here. Whole lot of dresser space. That's one thing that this apartment is not lacking in. We have tons and tons of space for all of our clothes and all of Adriana's shoes and my too many warm shirts because the weather here has been so nice. Now we're gonna enter my favorite room in the entire apartment, and probably one of the reasons I actually rented this place outside of the amazing neighborhood that it's in. This is the home office. Got some extra shelves here, including my dead drone. We're gonna get into this topic eventually. And the little workstation for someone like me who is online a lot, editing videos, writing emails, etc., working. This little office is my getaway. And by the way, members of the barrio, I appreciate this a lot. Let's take a closer look. I just passed 18,000 subscribers on YouTube, so we are moving on up in this world. Thank you for all of the support. And we have the second balcony here. I've got this bench. I don't know what to do with the bench yet. We'll figure something out. And then we can't pass through here. This goes downstairs to another apartment. But I'm sure we can eavesdrop on their conversations if we're bored enough, which I'm not. It's pretty private. Actually, I like the lack of noise here. Now we're gonna talk about how I found this place, how much I'm paying for it, and my early thoughts on Guadalajara. All right, time for a discussion. I found this apartment the same way I found my 2-month rental in Merida off of Airbnb. And I'm one of those people who is extremely particular about location. I am willing to take a smaller apartment in a better location. And when you're looking for a rental for a month, you automatically get a lot less to work with. And when I found the neighborhood Colonia Americana, I immediately told Adriana, we're gonna stay here, and I was looking through listings. It was one of the priciest neighborhoods in all of Guadalajara. We were paying about $950 a month for this apartment, and you might be thinking, well, that's a lot of money. I do think it is a lot of money for Mexico. However, under the circumstances of needing a place for just 1 month and really only having about 1 month's notice, I think the price is okay. I do think that if Adriana and I would have come here, rented a hotel for a day or two, and spent a couple of nights moving around trying to find an apartment by ourselves, I think we could have saved a couple of $100s. However, I'm a little bit lazy on that front, and I would recommend for you guys, if you are trying to be a digital nomad in a different city, if it's short term, if it's 1 month, maybe even 2 months, try to negotiate directly on Airbnb. Most hosts are willing to bend a little bit on a long-term rental. I think if you're going longer than 2 months, I would just get a hotel or a cheap Airbnb somewhere and get on the ground and try to find a cheaper apartment that way, because you will save money if you do come in person and try to find listings by yourself. Adriana and I have only had a couple of days in Guadalajara so far, and without revealing too much, I will say that I have loved the vibe here. I'm definitely gonna make a video about the neighborhood that we're staying in, Colonia Americana. It's really interesting. It's considered the hipster neighborhood of Guadalajara. There is so much going on. We just took a tour of the downtown. I'm gonna make another video about that when we come back. Where are we going? We just got here. Well, Adriana and I are going to be going to Puerto Vallarta for 5 nights. Starting this weekend, and I'm gonna be staying at an all-inclusive resort, which is not something I normally cover on this channel, but I got an incredible deal. I mean, when I make a video about the resort, you are going to be really, really impressed about how we pulled this off, and I'll explain all of that. I hope you enjoyed the tour of the apartment. We've got a ton coming up from Jalisco this month. I've got a list like this long of topics and things that I want to cover. I appreciate everybody supporting these videos in Mexico and beyond. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.